going to give you a few short videos that have to do with lesson 8.8. And lesson 8.8 is all about solving both equations and inequalities that have multiple steps or that you have to go through to isolate the variable on one side of the equation. So here's an example of one of these types of problems. So here we are, 12y plus 5 times y minus 6 equals 4. So our goal still is to get all of the variables combined on one side of the equation. And right now that y is inside parentheses. So we can't just say, well, I'll put this y over here with this 12y. We can't do that because of the parentheses. So the first step in these types of problems is to use the distributive property to get rid of those parentheses. So we're going to go ahead and rewrite this as 12y plus 5y. 5y times negative 6 minus 30 equals 4. Now before we start to move things to one side of the equation or the other, let's go ahead and clean up this side. This side cleans up to 17y minus 30 equals 4. All right, we want y to be alone. So the next logical step would be to use inverse operations to move this 30 over here. So the opposite of negative 30 or subtracting 30 is adding 30. So if I add 30 to both sides of the equation, I'm showing that we now have 17y equals 34. We're almost there. We've done a couple of steps here. Distributive property, combine like terms, addition property of equality. Last step, we want 17y to become just y. 17 is attached to y by multiplication. The inverse or opposite of multiplication is division. So if I divide by 17 on this side and I divide by 17 on this side, I'm able to isolate my variable, and my final answer is y equals 2. Now of course we're going to circle our answers, and if we have time we're going to go back and check, is 2 actually the answer? And the way to check that would be to come back to the beginning, put 2 in for y here, put 2 in for y here, and then do the math to see if it works.